Greetings, welcome back to the Too Fast Tactical channel. I have another tabletop review here for another Smith Wesson 9mm Shield Kydex holster. This one is for a OWB, or outside the waistband holster. I actually picked up a IWB, an inside the waistband holster, and an OWB outside the waistband holster. So if you want to take a look at the IWB holster, you can watch the previous video I did on that. This is going to cover just the OWB holster. So this is made by BravoConcealment.com. Their website will be in the link. This particular holster currently runs for $45.89. It is a pancake style friction retention holster. The thickness on it is 0.08. So it is very thin, adds very little to the thickness of your firearm. Has a sweat guard. It is threaded barrel compatible and compatible with suppressor height sights. So you have tall sight clearance up to 0.2175 of an inch. Has a safety clearance. The belt loops are 1.5 inches. It is black. The holster will not accommodate compressors or a red dot sight like an RMR. So keep that in mind. Okay, so for your money, you get your package. You get either one or two stickers. I don't know. I bought two holsters, so I got two stickers. That could be why I got two. A thank you letter from the owner of the company, which I'm probably not going to say his name correctly. It's Rene Aguirre, A-G-U-I-R-R-E. He's the owner, CEO of Bravo Concealment. So if I didn't say your name right, I apologize. And we have a brochure here for the Bravo Concealment BCA OWB gun holster, which is Bravo Concealment Adjustable Gun Holster. I believe that's what that stands for. And inside this, it talks about how to wear the holster. We've got some pictures here and how to adjust the holster and so on. This information is also on their website. There's a few videos on their website as well that show fitting it inside the waistband, something I'm not going to do, mainly because I have limited space. I just can't do that without actually having a dedicated camera person. So we're just going to be looking at this from a tabletop perspective and fit and finish, as well as fitment to the firearm and initial comments that I have from running this for a little bit. So the cant and ride height are adjustable, and according to a video on Bravo Concealment's website, you could actually run this as a IWB holster. Now, I haven't played around with that feature, but this particular, because I have one, so I have one specifically for that. This is the OWB. So I've done a little bit of wearing of this as an OWB holster, and that's what I'm going to be commenting on. So the holster ships in this black plastic bag, and that's it. So once we get rid of that, you can see this is a very nice standard Kydex design here. The belt clips are on the inside, and they are adjustable. You can move these up or down. You could also stagger this. One could be lower than the other if you want to adjust the cant, which is pretty cool. And you, of course, can adjust the ride height. I didn't play around with these holes down at the bottom, but I don't know if you could do something kind of really wild like that. I did not try those. I just moved these up and down a little bit. But this right out of the package fits really well. You've got the standard design where you've got the Phillips screw here, and you've got this recessed nut, and there's a donut in the middle. Donuts, give me the donuts. Like in the last video I did, with some Kydex holsters that use this type of screw nut design, I've had these loosen up on me. So this is too new for me to have experienced that particular issue. It may or may not happen. I can't tell you for sure. What I normally do with Kydex holsters is once I get things adjusted perfectly and I'm comfortable and I'm not going to dink with it anymore, I'll take the screws out and I'll put a little dab of blue Loctite on it and I'll tighten these down. Blue Loctite will ensure that these don't loosen up on you over time. And if you do need to remove them, it's removable, so it's not permanent. So I will do that in the future once I'm completely confident with my settings or my placement of these belt loops on this. So you can see this has got a nice curvature here. I found that wearing this at my 3 o'clock or on my hip, this works really good. I found that some of my dress belts don't provide the type of support that I would ideally like. So, you know, I've got some military style belts that are a little bit stiffer that work better for my particular purpose with these OWBs. The thin leather dress belts just don't really work for me that well. You may not have an issue, but I end up using a 1.5 inch military type nylon belt, black belt. Sort of looks like a dress belt, but it's nylon, it's much stiffer, and that gives me better support with this holster. So that's what I use with this. The 9mm shield, which I have right here, and an empty magazine, 8-round magazine. You can see the fit on this is absolutely perfect. It is the torsion design. It's not going to come out. As a matter of fact, you got to actually put a little bit of pull on this. You got to put some muscle into this to pull it out. So it's not, you could run, jump, do somersaults, what have you, and this is not going to come out. You've got to, you know, this fits really tight. So you've got to pull this out. With the IWB uses a clip system. Even with just a clip where you clip it on either your pants or you clip it on your belts, this type of torsion system, I can still pull the gun out and I don't have to worry about pulling the whole holster out the way the clip design on the IWB is. This obviously is captured, so there's no way you're going to pull the holster out if you've got a belt through this. But I'm just making a comment that this is very tight, but it's not too tight to where you're going to be tweaking your belt or pulling the holster out or anything like that. So, but you've got solid retention here. The Kydex holsters are molded after the actual gun, as you can see the contours here. This particular one, as well as the IWB version, are molded to take into consideration the safety. And as you can see, I don't have the actual thumb safety on this, but it is molded there, so that is present. You probably can't see here too well, but you can see the way the rise is. Oh, well, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. So this is a little bit taller. Obviously, these are Trijicon night sights that are on this 9mm. These are standard height Trijicons. You know, no issues with clearance there. We could definitely go higher. If you had suppressor height sights on this, like mentioned, those will definitely fit without any issues. So very cool there. You've got a little bit of flexibility. You've got this backing piece right here that more or less it's going to keep the firearm away from your body, which is good. This is very comfortable to wear for an OWB holster. In my case, as long as I have the right belt for it. My dress belts just don't give me the level of support I need for this. But other than that, no issues with this design. This plastic material, from what I can gather with the clips, with the IWB holster, the clips actually kind of move up so you can slide it over your pants. This is good solid plastic material. It doesn't look like it's going to fatigue or break from use. So you've got a higher quality plastic material on these belt loops, as well as the clips on the IWB holster. Something I mentioned briefly was the way this holster is clamshelled together. You've got these metal rivets here, so these screws are actually going through a metal rivet. As surprising as it sounds, I've actually seen some Kydex holsters where these rivets are either not present. I've seen that, and I've seen some holsters where these rivets were plastic. And over time, back and forth movement of this metal screw in there, the plastic rivet breaks apart and falls out. And or the Kydex deforms with the screw with movement. You're not going to see, you may or may not have ever seen that. I've experienced it, and I've actually owned holsters like that. This one, these rivets are metal. You wouldn't run into that particular issue with this. So the fit and finish of this is perfect from what I can tell. I mean, solid black, black screws, black donuts. Who doesn't like black donuts? Chocolate donuts. I like chocolate donuts. Don't eat these, of course. It does not come with any extra donuts, which is a bummer, or extra screws. So if you lose a screw or you lose one of the nuts, you'd probably have to call up Bravo Concealment and try and get them to send you some more. So it doesn't come with any extra items, so be wary of that. Taking these screws out and putting them in. Actually, I'm not going to take them out on this one, but let me grab a clip from the other holster. Just so I can show you the donut and the screw. This is a clip off the IWB holster that I've already removed. And we've got the screw design, and we've got the nut design. So you can see this this particular design here. This is pretty typical. You see this a lot on these Kydex holsters. The nut is got a notch across it, so you can put a flat blade screwdriver on there. So you can put a flat, if you can get a flat blade screwdriver on it, and then the actual screw is a Phillips, so you can get a little bit of torque on this. And then of course we've got the donut right there. So that's the nut and the donut. This particular clip is off of Bravo Concealment IWB right here, and this is what I was referring to, how these, you have to bend this up a little bit. Very nice clip design. So, like mentioned, each holster that you buy, if you buy one specifically for your gun, it's going to be molded to your actual gun. They're not generic holsters. You might have a little bit of extra molding to accommodate for optional things, sort of like what I mentioned with the safety and without the safety. The thickness of the holster adds very minimal to the actual thickness of your gun, which is good. I've actually seen some holsters that are Kydex holsters that are pretty thick, and it adds a bit of bulk. This is definitely not the case with the Bravo Concealment. And you, according to Bravo Concealment, you can do this as a outside or an inside the waistband holster by moving these clips from one side to the other. I've actually not played around with that because yeah, I have an IWB with the clip setup that I like on it. So this was picked up specifically for an OWB. But you do have that option if you do decide to you want to mix things up a bit. And that's pretty much all my talking points on this. I've used the IWB holster a bit more than the OWB, but I did use this for a couple of days, and I found it very comfortable and very concealable over a larger sweater or shirt or jacket if you're going to go OWB. And again, my only particular issue, which is unique to me, is I've got to use a little bit stiffer belt than what I'm accustomed to using for this type of holster. Now, if you're running a heavier gun, that definitely might be an issue for you as well. If you're running a heavier gun, the thin leather dress belts may not be enough to provide you the support that you need. Anyway, I'll put a link for the IWB or the OWB Bravo Concealment holster in the description, and you can visit their website, take a look at some of their videos, and take a look at some of their offerings and see if this might be a good fit for you and your everyday carry. Thanks for watching.